Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My name is Marianna Rebelo. I'm a 20-year-old real estate entrepreneur who chose entrepreneurship over the traditional college path. My goal and my why is to retire my mother and to help others like her in Main Street America and Middle America to realize that multifamily real estate is something that they can always tap into and that they can learn about. And I'm actually having the pleasure and the honor to be interviewing my mother today. So it's a pleasure. Good to see you, Mom.
It's really good to see you. It's really good to finally sit and be across the table from you as a podcaster. I see you interviewing so many big names, Peter Schiff, Robert Kiyosaki, Russell Gray. Just for me to sit in this chair just means a lot.
Of course. And, this is very interesting because I've never seen a podcast like this before or have done one. But I would love to get your insight because my target market, as you know, is Main Street Americans, Middle Americans, and everything so far in between. What do you think that the entire United States and that the Main Street media, or just mainstream media, and the entire world gets wrong about Middle Americans? And I want you to dive into that a little bit.
That's such a complex question, but I think what they get wrong about Middle Americans is that they think that Middle Americans don't mentally beat themselves up about what the future holds for them. Millions of Americans out there are like automatrons. They just keep going and follow the playbook of work, save money, hope for a good retirement. Work, save money, hope for a good retirement, and they keep going. But I think a common misconception with people that are not in Middle America is they don't necessarily think about what we worry about. What keeps us up at night? What do we worry and wonder about? Can I afford the family vacation? What am I going to do when the kids are ready to go to college? Can I afford to send them to college? What's my retirement going to be like? I thought I could retire at this age, but it seems like that line of retirement keeps getting pushed a little bit farther. Just when we think we can get to it, it's been moved again. Some policy, or maybe the value of money going down. It's so much for us to take in. So I think the misconception is that we are comfortable, that Middle America is comfortable. Now, we hear everybody arguing on television, et cetera, but I think the consensus is they think that we're comfortable and we've accepted the status quo, and I think that's wrong.
Interesting. Thank you for your insight. And of course, I'm biased. Of course, it's a mother-son team over here. But you're right. Where that finish line of retirement keeps getting pushed more and more, and it feels like every day it's even farther away than what it should be. And it's like, is there going to be a point where I'm going to retire? Where, in fact, I'm going to plug this in really quick. If you go to our website at www.everforwardcapitalpartners.com, there's a tab called Books and Events. You can see what events we attend and host, and you can also get my book for free. It's called There's More Because Retirement Should Be a Question Mark, and it's geared more towards your mission and your target market, really, my target market of who you talk to and who you come from. So thank you for sharing that. And of course, feel free to download the book. It's for free in PDF version 2. So please go enjoy. But anyways, I definitely want to dive into something that you mentioned there, the retirement, the 401ks, the CDs. Me personally, as a 20-year-old, I think that back then, during your childhood, in your 20s and 30s, right, it seemed like it worked, that it was the safe route to do. But me personally, kind of blunt, I think today it's just garbage, that my retirement is not going to be able to rely on whatever this system is that we think is comfortable. I just think it's a scam. But I'd love to hear your input, how it's helped you in the past, but now what is it like now in the future for you as a Middle American, not only that, a single mom?
Right now for me, it's all about learning. It's learning that there's more options. It's learning that I need to get in the room. Again, if you don't know what that means, it's on, I believe it's chapter 13 of the book, Get in the Room. If you're making $100,000, $150,000, $180,000, you still can't invest in some of the greatest investments out there. Do they have risks? Absolutely. Do they have huge benefits? Absolutely. How do you circumnavigate those risks? By educating yourself. you wouldn't get into a car without somebody teaching you how to drive a car. Well, now, some of you I know did at 8, 9, 10 years old. Our generation, Gen X, we did crazy things like that. Raise your hand if you did. But anyway, if you think about it, you wouldn't get in a car. You wouldn't put your young driver in a car without some sort of lesson. If they don't know what the brake pedal is, the accelerator, how to operate, just the basic steering wheel. They see sometimes the way that people drive and they think that's the way it's supposed to be. Without instructing them, they're not going to have a chance, and the likelihood of an accident is exceedingly high. So if that's the case, why wouldn't you also teach about money and the value of money? So I'm going down a rabbit hole and lost my total train of thought of what your question was.
That's okay.
But what I'm saying is middle America needs to get educated, and they need to stop thinking, well, that's what my parents did. Because you're right, that is what my parents did. They did all the right things, and they had a good amount of money when they retired, but they also lost $80,000. They weren't directing it. There was no self-directed IRA. Today, how many people have money in accounts that are sitting in 401ks from a previous job? You forget about it. You don't even think about it. We met a lovely lady today by the name of Karen, and I'm sure if they tap into your website, Everforward Capital Partners, they'll be able to find that name. But she talks about if you have an IRA sitting there, first of all, who's managing it, or a 401k, who's managing it? Do you even know who they are? That's my argument. Do you even know who's managing your money? Do you even know the name of the person who's managing your money? In some cases, do you even know the company that's managing your money? In fact, you could ask hundreds of Americans out there, where's your 401k? The answer might come back as, it's in my 401k. So what I'm saying is what worked for my parents, your grandparents, it worked, but they lost a lot. That doesn't necessarily work for me because that's not going to help me with my retirement. That's not going to grow the wealth that I'm looking to do, number one. I'm looking for something that's going to allow for passive income because when push comes to shove and you want to go on vacation or you want to buy the extra things or do some remodeling, people think, well, maybe I'll just pick up a little side job, a little part-time job. Well, instead of doing that, get in the right room, get educated, learn, get around other people that are doing it well, and have your money making money for you so that you're making distributions, number one. And number two, you can get with somebody or a team that has lots of experience that at the end of 4, 5, 6 years, when they're doing rental properties, for example, you have a nice little nest egg there. So it's kind of like the bonus paycheck. So that's why Americans need to be thinking differently and being taught differently. But the problem is they're not going to, as you know, teach that in school.
So true. And I mean, I won't go down the rabbit hole of high school because you already know. But, excuse me, I would like to ask you about college. Because for me, I decided to ditch the college route and choose entrepreneurship, which I already discussed in my intro and basically what I'm doing with the Main Street Media Network and Everforward Capital Partners and the Everforward Mindset. But for you, for example, talking to someone like me, or at least my generation, that want to go to college, or those that are already in college or just about to get into, how valuable do you think college is right now, in this present day, in the economy, right now? Like, is it valuable? Is it something that's a maybe, or is it a no? I'd love to hear your insight.
Great question. If you're going to be in a profession, medical profession, engineering, law, health services, any of those types of things, you 100% need to go to college. You need people to teach you how to do that. If I have to go in for a hip replacement, I don't want to know that my surgeon YouTubed his way through a hip replacement, or her. You need medical training for that. So if you're going to college with an absolute solid idea of what you plan on doing when you graduate, 100%, I'm all in favor. If you're going to college because I'm not really sure what I want to do, I'm 100% against it. That's just me. And I'm probably going to upset a lot of people right now, but if you look at the first year of college, if you're going to be a physician, that first year of college should start to teach them that right away. Why is that first year of college in my head so controversial in my head about what you have to take as your requirements? Where's that money going? So that bothers me. So my answer for college is twofold. If you're actually getting into an actual profession where you're basically using your hands or you're speaking, what do I mean by using your hands? Either plumbing, electrical, surgeon, doctor, you're using your hands. If you're using your mind, maybe you're a therapist, psychologist, priest, pastor, minister, all of these require higher education. But if you don't have that answer, then you're paying for your kids to go to a really good 4-year party.
That's so true. And thank you for sharing that again.
And saddling them with a lot of debt.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. Yesterday, I interviewed Robert Kiyosaki on the same show, and he was talking about, college, choosing your right teachers and choose them wisely, leveraging debt. You can't leverage college debt. In fact, you are in the wrong debt. The good debt is like what I do, leverage bank debt to buy multifamily properties over and over and over again. It's a system. It's all basically a simple calculus, but I won't go down that rabbit hole. But from your perspective, outside of a mom, outside of what you do, I want to learn the economy from your eyes. Because here at the New Orleans Investment Conference, I'm talking to people like Brian London, Peter Schiff, Rick Rule, Adam Taggart, Robert Kiyosaki, and they're all big economists, like Dr. Mark Skousen. He has PhDs in economics and finance. But I would love to hear it from your perspective, someone that's watching the economy on the inside, not the outside, the inside, where you're feeling the effects of it every day. And what are the things you're looking at? What are the things you are feeling? And what are you doing about it right now to make sure that you still have a roof over your head and you can provide for your family?
So I can tell you when I felt the shift in the economy, you were actually a toddler. And I remember standing in CVS, and I was going to buy a bottle of Dawn dish detergent because I'm masterful with coupons. And the bottle of detergent was 99 cents. And I remember there was a time where it was 11 ounces. And then I remember looking down at the bottle, and it suddenly transformed into 9 ounces. Same amount of money, container got a little smaller. I know every American that does the shopping has seen this. The chips have a little bit less. The cereal has a little bit less. It's almost imperceptible, but everything has just a little bit less. The 12-ounce box went down to 11.5 ounces. Then it went to 11 ounces, then 10 ounces, and 9 ounces, and 8.5 ounces. Some people noticed it. Some others never noticed it. And unfortunately, companies realized that I could do the same thing. If I could take an ounce out of this Dawn detergent and another ounce out of this one, 10 bottles or 9 bottles, I have another bottle. I just increased my profit. And middle America and everybody in the United States is paying for it. That's why I first started to feel the squeeze. That's no big deal. It's a bottle of Dawn. But then you start seeing it in the cereal. And then you start seeing it in the cans. And then you start noticing it in the prescriptions. So what's happening is what you're buying is becoming less, but the dollar amount is staying the same. So that's from the inside looking out. Do I think the economy will eventually turn around and sort of get back to normalcy? When I come to a place like this, yes, there are some incredibly smart people out there today. And I'm not just talking about your government, politicians, et cetera. I mean men and women that hold exceedingly large amounts of wealth in this country that also can affect and influence it. Some really good people out there. So, by the way, for those that are thinking all people with wealth are evil, they're not. There's some really good souls here today, which is inspiring for me. So, as far as the economy, what do I think is happening? I do think middle America is getting squeezed to death. I truly think we're getting squeezed to death. There's a lot for those that don't have. And there are some people that don't have that deserve help. They need help, and that's why programs existed. There are others that are taking advantage of it. And then you have others that have figured out how to do it. They learn the tax codes. They're not breaking laws. They're doing the right thing. They're doing exactly the way things were set up. They learned how to do them. And then there's middle America that's fueling both sides. So we just need to educate middle America that they have more options. Otherwise, the economy won't change. But once we can make that shift with your generation so that they understand how money actually works, and when you move money, what it does to the economy, I think your generation's going to have a better chance.
I love that. Thank you so much. We're going to actually wrap up this episode too. I would love for you to kind of close off our episode with just one last question. For my generation specifically, for those that are a little bit older than me, a little bit younger than me, that want to get into something or have no idea what their life trajectory may be, maybe it's going to college, maybe it's doing something, or they just don't know. What do you think they should do right now? Like the number one actionable step to get them on the right path? Like, for example, me at 16, I was doing day trading, I was doing stocks, and now it led me all the way here to the New Orleans Investment Conference. So that one little action helped get me here, as you well know. But what is that one action today that my generation should take to get on the right path to financial freedom?
Read or listen. You know, how many times did I say that to you? Read a book. Now, there's specific books. Read the books from Zig Ziglar. Read books from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Start with that. Just start with that one book. Read that book. Don't just skim it like you did when you were 10. You know, read 3 pages in like 10 seconds. Totally called you out on that.
Yes, you did.
Or, you know, don't read the book with your eyes closed while you're taking a nap.
It's
It
true.
is very true.
It's very true.
But read the book. Even if you can't read it all, you know, digest all of it at one time, read the book. If you want to continue down the same path that so many Americans are traveling right now that are struggling and realize they may not be able to retire, then don't read the book. This isn't for you. But for those of you who do want to do things, that want to travel, that want to experience the world, that want to be able to be in a position where you can buy the car, rent the really nice apartment, buy the really nice house, you need to start doing now by reading books. Maybe you even want to listen to it. Some of you are passionate about animals. Some of you are passionate about helping those in other countries. Whatever you're passionate about, you need money, and in some cases, a lot of money. So whether you want the house, the car, the future, the dream, the vacations, the travel, whatever it is, read a book. Start with the book. And again, that's where I started. Zig Ziglar. I'm trying to remember the name of his book. There's so many of them that are really good. Read The Rag Picker. That's a really good book. Or hear it. Listen to it. It's an audiobook also. And the other one, of course, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a great place to start. Once you start reading, and then start watching some of these YouTube. You guys have all this technology right there at your fingertips. My generation, we had book. If you didn't have a book, you weren't going to hear about it. I know you're thinking I had cave paintings and chalkboards. No, that was my mother. I love my mother.
Nice.
But anyway, listen to the podcast, listen to your YouTube, watch your YouTube videos, watch until you find somebody you resonate with, and then start teaching yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for those that want to learn more about what I do and basically what my mission is, go to www.everforwardcapitalpartners and go to the About section. You can learn more about my company and how my mother's influenced me, the deals we're working on, the deals we've closed on, and the conferences we'll be attending, speaking at, hosting, both in-person and virtual. If you want to learn more about real estate investing as well, follow us on social media. You'll be able to on our contact page, again, at www.everforwardcapitalpartners.com. And of course, to my audience out there, build yourself better and bigger every day. Live better, live bigger. Always move ever forward. And it was a pleasure to have you on the show, Mom. Thank you so much.
And for the record, publicly, I love you very much, and I'm really, really proud of you.
Goes both ways.
Thank you. Thank you.